Alright, yo, so in today's video, I'm going to be rating every single breathing style inside of Project Slayers. As you can see, we're going to be rating them from S tier all the way to D tier, aka the worst to best. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, but first now we got insect breathing. So yeah, right off the bat, I think insect breathing is one of the best breathing styles for combos due to its just high speed and a lot of combo extender attacks. Example, Caprice, True Flutter, and Jawbreaker. All these attacks leave the enemy stunned, allowing you to lead them into other combos, which is just honestly OP. Especially with the barrage attack as a combo ender, it's just really good in my opinion. And obviously if you have her sword and her breathing style, it gives the enemy a poison damage. So yeah, on top of you hitting them, your health will drain away due to the poison. Keep in mind, this is one of the fastest breathing styles because it is based on one of the fastest Hashira, if not the fastest Hashira. Just like in the anime, she's not the strongest Hashira, but she is indeed the fastest. So yeah, in my opinion, before the new update came out, I think thunder breathing and insect breathing were the two best breathing styles in the game. So yeah, in terms of skill, I think insect breathing takes it. So yeah, that is why I'm gonna have to put insect breathing at S tier. Alright, the next breathing style we have is water breathing. In my opinion, bro, water breathing is way better for bosses than people. But that's just me. The only reason I say that is because the infinite combo for water that it has is actually really good, and I've seen it firsthand against like bosses like Akaza and Rengoku and things like that. But against people, I don't see many people using water style in PvP. Like, I feel like it was that breathing style you got at the beginning of the game because of Tundra, but then after that you realized it was kind of like mid, so you got rid of it for something better. Me personally, bro, I've never actually had water style, but I have friends who use water style. I fought people with water style, and I've actually fought bosses with people who have water style over and over again. And I've definitely seen that it's more versatile against bosses than people. And a lot of the attacks in this breathing style are actually foundations for some of the other attacks, but one of the things does have is originality. A lot of the attacks in water style actually reskinned in the new flame breathing, which is kind of an L, but I guess water breathing walks so flame breathing can run. It's like some of the attacks in this breathing style actually just are not that appealing, and they just don't look that good, especially like the water wheel and water serpent slash. Like, they just don't look that good, to be honest. And there's only 3 moves in the water style that I actually think are useful: constant flux, ripple thrust, and water basin. Anytime I've ever fought someone with water style, they really only use those 3 because all the other attacks are kind of just mid, to be honest. So me personally, I'm gonna have to put water style at a solid C tier. It's decent for fighting NPCs and bosses, but in PvP it's just not that popular, and I don't see many people using it a lot because they're just way better alternatives. Alright, before our next breathing style, we have the long-awaited flame breathing. And I'll be honest with y'all, the second this breathing style came out, I grinded to get it. Just like everybody else, bro, I've been waiting months to get it. And I'm gonna be honest, bro, it's pretty good. It's definitely not as good or original as some of these breathing styles on here, but it's definitely a cool breathing style to use. And it's especially one of the nicest looking ones, especially because of the bright colors and all the things added to it. Especially because of the cutscenes in it and the bright colors. So it definitely looks a lot cooler than some of the breathing styles on here. But in my short experience of using flame breathing, it's actually really good for damage, and it's not the best for combos, but it's pretty good. It's definitely not as good for combos as thunder breathing or insect breathing, but it's definitely good for high damage, like shorter combos. But aesthetic wise for this breathing style, it's actually really nice looking, as I said earlier. Just look at some of the attacks, bro. You can't tell me they don't look gorgeous. Now, as I was saying earlier, a lot of these attacks are reskinned from water style. Prime examples being Flaming Tiger and Blazing Universe, which are basically just straight up copies from water style. They just reskinned it to be fire. But, you know, we'll let it aside because the attacks are still pretty good overall. So in terms of aesthetics, it's actually really nice looking, but in terms of originality, it's kind of low. And for combo based things, it's not the best. Now, in my personal experiences, it's really fun to use, and I do not regret getting it. So overall, I'm going to have to give flame breathing a B tier. Not too high, not too low. I would say more or less in the middle of A and B, but all we have is B, so I'm gonna put it at B. Alright, next up we have my personal first breathing style, wind breathing. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is one of the funnest breathing styles I've ever used in Project Slayers. Now, yes, I will admit the aesthetics of it don't look too nice because it is just wind. It doesn't have fire, water, bugs. It just look kind of basic. But the attacks are really original, and they actually look really cool. As you probably seen in the anime, Sanemi is like a wild dog when he fights, and his personality is really strong. So I think they implemented that into Project Slayers with the style of how it looks really well. As you see, every time he cuts, it's like really rigid, and the slices are really sharp. Like, it just looks really cool. Now, a downside that the wind style does have is that the attacks are extremely basic. Like, in my opinion, the best looking attack in this breathing style alone is the typhoon attack, where you just jump up in the air and shoot slices of air at people. Because in my opinion, flame breathing and wind breathing are actually pretty comparable. So if you like flame breathing a lot, you probably like wind style. So me personally, I'm going to have to put wind style a solid B tier. Alright, up next we have the new breathing style added to the game, mist breathing. And I'm gonna be honest already, bro, this is one of the best looking breathing styles in the game, and it's super original. Obviously, we haven't seen any of these attacks animated yet, but they definitely took the manga aspect of it and put it into the game. So props on the creativity from that and not just taking it from the anime because it's not animated yet. So they had to just wing it with their own imaginations and just make it really creative, which is actually a plus. Especially with the invisibility aspect in it and the barrage aspect, it's just really cool in my opinion. And I'm gonna be honest, bro, after I'm done using flame breathing, I'm definitely going to use mist breathing because it just looks that cool and the attacks are just really nice looking. They're like pretty original, to be honest. Especially with the obscuring clouds attack, which literally makes you invisible in your own radius. So if anybody's in there, bro, they cannot see you. It'll be like fighting a cloud, bro. And I also really like the 8-layered mist attack in this breathing style. And as you can see, bro, mist is nothing like flame, wind. It's its own element. So they had to make this one really original, and I really do like it. So overall, I'm gonna have to put mist breathing at A tier. Up next, we have the fabled and hated thunder breathing. And we all know thunder breathing is toxic and annoying, and none of us like it, but you have to give credit where credit is due and say that it is a good breathing style. Given that Zenitsu only knows one of these moves and they took it from Zenitsu, it's just really good. And in my opinion, bro, I definitely think they made thunder breathing go to waste in terms of graphics and the way it looks. Like, come on, bro, it's thunder. You can make it look so much cooler than just a little bit of light beams coming off a sword. Spoiler warning for a manga page I'm about to show you guys, so you can skip to this timestamp if you don't want to see it. As you can see by this manga panel, bro, just look at this, bro. They could have definitely implemented this attack into the game and made it look so cool with like a burst, like two-sword style from GPO. But you know, we got this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it looks cool, but they definitely could have made it look a lot cooler. And the only reason people use this breathing style is because it might be cheese, but it's that good. And I'll be honest, bro, just because so many people use it, this is probably the most beginner-friendly breathing style you can actually use in Project Slayers. And paired with the breathing style, it actually has one of the hardest obtainable clans in the game. Like, bro, if you have a Gatsuma, bro, you better not ever change it because your probability of getting it back is so small. So yeah, out of all of these breathing styles, I definitely think thunder breathing could use a rework in terms of graphically looking better. But overall, it's actually a really good breathing style. It might be cheese, but it's good. You can't take that away from it. So I'm going to have to give it, this is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna have to give thunder breathing an S tier. Alright, y'all, last but not least, our last breathing style on the list, beast breathing. And I'll be honest with y'all, out of the 3 newest breathing styles added to the game, I think beast breathing is the most underlooked. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this breathing style and wind breathing do look a lot similar, but they're completely different. As you can see by the attacks, bro, Inosuke's ferocious attack speed is definitely depicted well into the attacks. Like, bro, a lot of these attacks you're just spinning around, slicing random directions. It's definitely a hard breathing style to fight against because it's so random, and a lot of the attacks are just so hard to predict of where you're gonna get hit from. Like, bro, how am I supposed to fight a guy swinging his swords like this? But in terms of aesthetics, bro, it doesn't really look, to be honest, they really don't look that nice compared to attacks like flame breathing or mist breathing. Like, this breathing style definitely looks like it took the least amount of time to make, at least out of the 3 new breathing styles we got in the new update. So yeah, overall, for a grand finale, I'm going to have to give beast breathing a solid C tier. Now hold on, before you guys get triggered and say beast breathing is the best breathing style in the game or whatever, this is just my opinion, so do not get butthurt. And I definitely do not think it's worth 10,000 yen as the price is. But that's just me though. Comment down below if you disagree, and comment down below why I should change it. But yeah, this is my new breathing style tier list for me personally. This is just my opinion. Do not get triggered. But yeah, at S tier we got insect breathing and thunder breathing. At A tier we have mist breathing. At B tier we got flame and wind breathing. And at C tier we got water and beast breathing. But overall, yeah, that's gonna be it for my tier list video. Hope y'all liked the video. Subscribe to my channel if you were not already, and join the Discord link in the description. But don't forget, if you want to see more Project Slayers videos in the future, comment down below and like this video. But without further ado, I'm gonna see y'all later.